after the new event week in GTA Online, we now have a ton of things with bonus money. So throughout the rest of this video, I really wanted to go through these things, and hopefully you guys can follow along and make millions of dollars. So leave a like on this video, subscribe if you are new, and let's dive straight into it. So to start things off, we have to go through the new weekly reward. All things considered, I do think this weekly challenge is really easy, and pretty much anyone can do this one. The reward for this will be $200,000 instead of the usual $100,000, so it is definitely worthwhile trying to do. You will just have to complete 3 safeguard deliveries, and you can see there that you also unlock this really nice clothing outfit. If you guys are just logging into GTA Online this week, you might not even know what these safeguard deliveries are. Essentially, there is 2 different locations on the map, and to keep this as simple as possible, you just have to deliver some different items to a drop-off location. There will only be 1 drop-off location per delivery, and you get around roughly $20,000 each and every time. So honestly, it's not too bad. I mean, it just depends where the delivery missions are, or at least the drop-off locations, and you can actually manipulate this by starting one of the deliveries, pulling up your phone, and cancelling the job. If you do this, you can then just run straight back over to the delivery depot, wherever you guys decided to go to, start another one up, and you will get a completely different drop-off location and a different payout. Hopefully that will help you guys complete this weekly challenge. It is really straightforward, and for $200,000 and the clothing unlock, I would say it is worthwhile. For the second money method, we now have the Higgins Helitours laundering missions. These things will have a double money and RP bonus. The best way that I can put these ones is essentially just the same thing as the last event week, but instead of the whole car wash business, this Higgins Helitours and the smoke on water shop, it will only be affecting the Higgins Helitours laundering missions. And very unfortunately, these Higgins Helitours laundering missions are much longer, at least in my experience, than the other 2 laundering missions that you can do. Typically, I just prefer using the car wash laundering missions, but obviously with this double money and RP bonus, this will only be affecting the Higgins Helitours, and that comes at another cost because you will have to buy the Higgins Helitours business as well, which I believe either costs $950,000 or $800,000, and to even have access to this, to buy it, you will need to have the car wash. Overall, I would say it is a great investment. To get into some numbers on these Higgins Helitours laundering missions, it will essentially just be the same as before, but just on this specific business. So per laundering mission, if you do not have GTA Plus, you will be looking at $70,000 each and every time you complete one. So a really solid payout. Just remember, you can just go ahead and start another one straight away as well. And then for those of you guys on GTA Plus, these things will have a massive 4 times bonus. So again, just pretty similar to the last event. So per mission, you will be looking at a massive $140,000. And overall, I would genuinely say this is the best money method this week. If you guys are yet to buy the car wash business and the Higgins Helitours, I would seriously recommend it. You will be able to make your money back in no time at all. And just before we move on, I do want to mention this heat bar. I did test out the heat bar, and it does turn out you guys can completely fill the heat bar and nothing will happen in terms of being raided. The only thing that comes with a full heat bar is not being able to start a money laundering mission or Mr. Faber work and passive income. So the best course of action here would be to completely fill this by completing money laundering missions, complete one of the legit missions, and wipe the heat bar out, and rinse and repeat this process. Moving on over to our third money method now, we have the dispatch work with some double money and RP. Now I don't want to spend too long on this one, it's not really amazing, and one of the main reasons it's not amazing is because you will have to have one of these police vehicles, and if you guys have looked on the Warstock website, these things will cost a lot of cash, and usually in GTA Online I like to rate money methods on if you guys can make the money back that you spend, and yet through dispatch work you will probably not be making that money back, especially if you are buying the police bike or any of them really top tier expensive police vehicles. Still, these vehicles are really cool, but if you want to do this, I would recommend getting one of the cheaper ones. To talk about the dispatch work and how it actually is, the dispatch work missions themselves are really fun. If you want to roleplay as a cop, you'll get a lot of fun out of these things. Next up, we now have the Junk Energy Skydives with some double money and RP. In terms of the money methods in this video, I honestly think this one will be the most overlooked. It is surprisingly really good if you guys have the time to invest in this. To find these Junk Energy Skydives, just open your map and look for one of these symbols. There will be 10 of them in total. The Junk Energy Skydives are also a daily challenge, so if you complete all 10, you can complete all 10 again the next day for some more cash. In this video, I did not complete all 10, but I did run through one of them, and pretty much you will have to complete all of the checkpoints in the Skydives. Also make sure that you land before the par time and get a perfect landing. If you complete all of them things, you will get a gold medal every single skydive, and if you get 10 in total, you will get a bonus cash reward. I do believe as well, if you complete all 10 for your first time with the gold medal, you will get the junk energy skydive chute, so a really nice little unlock as well. And with this double money, you are looking at some pretty nice cash overall. It is definitely a really nice change of pace compared to the other money methods, especially money methods where you guys have to collect something and drop it off. It is also great for some practice if you are a little bit uncomfortable skydiving. Another money method that also has some practice elements will be the flight school lessons with double money and RP. This will be a really nice way to get yourself ready for flying around in GTA Online. In terms of the payouts, they are honestly not that good with the double money, but very similar to the junk energy skydives. If you have never played them before, they are still worth playing through at least once. They also have a medal sort of feature, once again similar to the junk energy skydives. I do also think there is a reward for getting all gold medals. However, I have not done this on my PC account, and it has been such a long time since I tried that. If there is a reward, you will have probably seen it in the video if I could find the information. We are now moving over to our final money method with bonus money, and this will be an adversary mode called Juggernaut. So to go ahead and start this, if you press the pause button and go over to the online tab, select jobs, play jobs, Rockstar created, and adversary modes, you will find them all in here with the double money bonus. For me at least, I really don't like adversary modes too much, and especially in event weeks like this when we have pretty nice bonus money, I would much prefer to do other things like the money laundering missions, but like some of the other money methods, this will be a nice change of pace if you get bored doing the other things. Now that we have cleared up all of the things with bonus money, we have a sort of other bonus, and this will be for the hangar businesses, which by the way do have a 30% off this week. If you pick one of these things up, you can actually use Rooster McCraw inside here, send him off for a fee of $25,000, and you are guaranteed for him to return 2 crates to your hangar. So honestly, this is a pretty nice way to fill up the hangar business. However, there is some downsides to this. The first downside is, of course, Rooster McCraw will just be returning any random crates. You cannot select which ones he picks up. You will also be spending $25,000 each time you do this. However, you are still making money doing it, so potentially something to consider. And one of the main positives to the hangar business, we'll be pairing this with the Higgins Helitours business. As you guys probably know by now, the Higgins Helitours will actually boost the hangar crates by 10%. So now for 1 crate inside the hangar, you can make $33,000 if you sold it, which will definitely make sourcing crates through Rooster a lot more viable. If I was going to do this, I would recommend using Rooster and actually sourcing crates at the same time. You will then be able to fill the hangar business up. However, you will not be able to pick and decide which crates he sources, which might ruin the overall payout. At this point in the video, we are now finally done with all of the things with bonus money. So we do have some pretty standard money methods that refresh with each event week. First up, we have the new FIB Priority File. This one is genuinely the best one. It does not take long to complete. However, you will have to have the Garment Factory to do it. So if you did spend all that money on the Garment Factory, it is worth playing through this and trying to complete the bonus challenges to make some more cash. All of the bonus challenges for the files should be on screen right now. So if you do complete this FIB Priority File, you can play through the standard files as well and hopefully get the bonuses completed. The next standard money method we have is of course our Salvage and Robberies. Just like the FIB Priority File, these things have also refreshed, roughly making you around $1 million if you complete all 3. For this week, we have the cargo ship robbery for the Urbe Omnis EGT, getting you the most money overall. We then have the podium robbery for the Grotti GT 500 and the gangbanger robbery for the Anish Euros. So if any of you guys have a salvage yard, I would probably suggest doing at least the top tier vehicle. One thing to note about the salvage yard is that the salvage yard robberies can take some time. So a tip that I like to use is to have a passive or semi-passive business in the background. For example, the acid lab is a pretty nice option. Buy supplies for the acid lab and complete a salvage yard robbery or 2. And then if you have even more businesses with the passive safe, every 48 minutes, this will be making you money as well. Altogether, probably the best way to run these active money methods. You are then pretty much getting the best of both worlds. The final money method that we have to go over is the time trials. This week we have a new premium race called Downtown Underground. The standard time trial is called Upper Nat bottom located over here, and the HSW time trial is Textile City to Stab City. Usually I would recommend playing these things as soon as the event refreshes, and that will really just free up a lot of time to play the normal money methods and focus on some of the better ones like the Higgins Helitours money laundering missions. In terms of the vehicles that I like to use, I prefer using the Ubermac Niobe with the HSW upgrades. This is by far probably my favourite one to use right now. Another great option is the Hakachu Drag, and in terms of standard vehicles for the standard time trial, the Batty 801 is still a really good option, especially if you guys are pulling wheelies. And some other standard vehicles that come to mind will be ones like the Ocelot Virtue, the Pariah, and potentially the LM87. I also believe the new Suzume will be a nice option to use. I recently purchased this, and although it did cost me $3 million, actually much more than this because of the upgrades, the acceleration with it being an electric vehicle, and the traction and downforce will probably make it a really good choice. So yeah, that will be all of the best money methods this week. As usual with these type of money method videos, where I highlight all of the bonus money, it is always worthwhile pairing these money methods with things that do not have bonus money. So for example, if you guys have a bunker business fully set up, just having that running in the background while completing other things will be the most efficient way to run these different methods. So yeah guys, that will do it for this video. If you guys have a specific favorite method from this event, make sure that you leave a comment below. And as always, if you went on to enjoy this video or found it useful in any way, shape or form, leave a like. I always do appreciate your support. And if you are new here and like what you see, subscribe and hit that bell icon to never miss a video. Finally guys, stay safe, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.